Khalil Rountree is gonna knock Alex Pereira out cold in 2. Guys, we are back. I'm straight from work, so I'm a little bit tired. So apologies about the tired eyes. But UFC 307 is just around the corner. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree. Now, that is not a fight that I would have predicted at the beginning of this year. It's a very unusual matchup. UFC are obviously liking the fact that it potentially is going to be a car crash. And we'll have a bold prediction by the end of this episode as well. 100%. But before we get into it, Jermaine, how you been, man? It's been a little while, man. Tell me the latest. What's going on with you?
Just recently was under the weather a bit, getting over sinus infection. Now I'm finally getting back to 100%. Maybe can start making some of my own content again. Just getting back to regular life, man. Being sick sucks, but
yeah, man. Yeah, definitely 100%. But man, what do you think of this matchup, man? Alex Pereira he has been on a roll this year. That's just to say the least, man. I mean, he went through Yuri Prochazka, Jamal Hill. I know Tolvin's going to have something to say about that because I was so damn sure, that Jamal Hill was going to win that fight. I was like gung-ho about it. And Pereira just made him look like as if he didn't belong in there with him. So the last 2 fights, I've been super impressed with Pereira. He's actually been overperforming, in my opinion, better than expected. But here's the question, is it a case of Alex Pereira just being that damn good, or it's just a case of, come on, man, just wrestle the motherfucker?
Yeah, man, everybody chooses, I'm just gonna stand with this guy. I want to knock this guy out. I mean, Izzy did it, so they know that it's possible,
but they're not easy.
They're not easy, and it's too easy. It's too easy to end up looking like Sean Strickland. And it's too easy to do that against some guy who has that kind of power. So as I agree, he's overperformed what I thought he was going to do in the UFC. I thought Bruno Silva kind of exposed him a little bit in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy to say Bruno Silva exposed him, but now he's gone on to be 2-division champion. But I don't know what it is, man. This fight, they're trying to push Khalil to fight Jamal Hill until that fight broke apart. They're trying to put Khalil here, and even without that marquee win, they're like, we're still just gonna put him in that spot regardless, which is crazy to me. He's PRADA sponsored athlete, Khalil Rountree, which makes absolutely no sense.
He's a what?
PRADA. He's sponsored by PRADA. Yes,
he's sponsored by. I didn't know. No offense here. I didn't know Khalil was bringing numbers like that. I know he's a great fighter and he's exciting, but I didn't think he brought numbers so he can get sponsored by PRADA. What's going on there?
I don't think he brings numbers in like that. I don't know. I was weird. I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, so I've seen some videos about his PRADA sponsorships and the church that he's associated with. He and Dom Cruz are associated with some weird church, and I think that's a big part of how he got this PRADA sponsorship, because I'd imagine not too many people know who the hell Khalil Rountree is. You got to be a hardcore to know Khalil.
Yeah. That, I mean, I wouldn't say hardcore, but he's definitely not a mainstream character in any sense or shape or form. And here's the thing, I've had multiple people saying this. He goes, how does anyone think that Khalil's got a chance, man, against Alex Pereira? Because he's been beaten by Marcin Pacino. He's been beaten by Johnny Walker. I mean, it's such a piss take when you're like, yeah, you got beaten by Johnny Walker. He's shit. I mean, but Johnny Walker, he's got beaten by Johnny Walker. He's smashed by him.
There was a time where I thought Johnny Walker was going to be that guy for a little while.
Yeah, that's true. And Iron Cutelaba is another one. And these were just, these were people that are kind of middle of the road, man. They're not even in the top 15 at the moment. Having said that, Khalil has improved massively. Bang Muay Thai Khalil has been the full evolution of who he is as a fighter recently. And I think he's done really well. He's fighting in the pocket really well, really good kicking game. Having said that, who's the last few people that he's fought? I mean, it's a bit,
Anthony Smith?
Yeah, right? I mean, come on, man. You can get a title shot while beating Anthony Smith.
Not in 2024. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you ask Anthony Smith, because he's pretty much the best fighter at 205, if you ask Anthony Smith, but I don't think he deserves this fight, honestly. It is what it is. I felt like
in about three for steroids as well. I mean, I don't know. Like if he won.
So I saw the interview recently. He said that like I think he was sitting down with Olivi, and he said that like his trainers gave him the supplements, and then they came over to his house and were like, "Hey, what are you doing with this?" And he was like, "You guys gave this to me." And they were like, "Well, you can't take it." So then he called the UFC immediately. Was like, "Hey, man, I've accidentally taken this substance."
Yeah.
And they were like giving him. He was like in the middle of him going through the whole fit process of getting suspended. They told him he was going to fight Alex Pereira.
Yeah, like, madness. It doesn't make it. Literally, I feel like the UFC is like, who's Alex Pereira for? So you can't fight Yuri again. You can't fight Jamal Hill because Jamal Hill got slept really quickly, and he needs to have another fight before he gets back in there.
I'm glad that fight didn't happen and that he's getting a little more time off to recover from the knockout.
I think so, man. I think it would have been such a horrible matchup for Jamal. But then you've got other people. You've got the big dark kind of elephant in the room that people just keep forgetting about, Mr. Ankaleav. Like, and here's the thing: you don't think he's gonna beat Alex Pereira, really?
No, I thought he would have been the champion by now.
Yeah, that's what I think. He actually turned the fight down. He's the one that's turned the fight down because he wasn't ready. So Alex Pereira's like, listen, everyone's saying, why am I not fighting Ankaleav? It's not my fault. Ankaleav is actually, he's not ready. He just simply isn't ready. So it's just a weird kind of spot because the top 5, you can't really match him against Pereira because he's beaten a few of them. He beat Jan, he beat Alex Pereira, he beat Jamal Hill, and he's beaten Yuri Prochazka. Ankaleav is out. What's the next one? What's the next exciting one? It would have to be Khalil Rountree.
Rakic, maybe?
No, Rakic just got slept by Jerry, though.
Yeah, he did. Okay. He looked great. He looked great before that, though. He looked great.
Everyone blaming Staff now, isn't it?
That's what it is. Everybody walks into these fights with Staff, though.
Yeah.
Like, every fight card, it's like, this person has Staff. The next fighter after the fight is like, I had Staff, too. It's like every fighter goes in with Staff infection. It's just how you fight.
Honestly. But in a technical standpoint, do you feel like this is going to be a close fight?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think this is going to be like no more than 2 rounds either way.
Wow. Okay. So you don't think it could be a war, like a back and forth war or anything like that?
I think if Alex hits this man one time, it's over. I don't feel like I don't think
Vice versa. Honestly.
Yeah, but I don't think Khalil has the technique to really be effective against Alex. I think he's gonna Khalil when he fights, he gives a lot of space to his opponents because he wants to counter. But so does Alex, and he's got the reach advantage, I'm pretty sure, and he's got all the advantages in here. All right, his style, he's got the advantage, he's got the power. Yeah. I think he's gonna set up those leg kicks. He's gonna fuck Khalil up, is what I think. I don't think this is gonna be close at all.
I was gonna do a bullshit prediction. I can't even do that, Jermaine, man. I actually can't do it. I can't do it, man. Before the podcast, I was gonna be like, I'm gonna just piss off Talvin. I'm gonna be like, yo, Khalil Rountree is gonna knock Alex Pereira out cold in 2. I can't even say that, man, because I just don't see it. I don't see it. I can't even say it as a joke because it's like I feel like Alex Pereira is another level. And especially with Khalil saying he's not going to wrestle him. Like, man, come on, bro, wrestle him. Like, what are we doing here?
And I don't know, man. I mean, maybe Khalil can knock him out. Alex is 37 coming in here, and it was just like his 3rd fight in a year, right? 37, 3 fights. So maybe he could knock him out, but then what happens when he has to fight Ankaleav, Khalil Rountree?
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna get dominated. All right.
I mean, well, I don't know, man. I don't know. The thing is, here's the thing. So you mentioned the Bruno Silva fight, yeah? And I thought that was very, very interesting. I'll tell you why. Because you mentioned something that was essentially 3 years ago. Now, since that time, he's come leaps and bounds. You know, he got taken down by Izzy in their first fight. Do you think he'll get taken down by Izzy now? The answer is no. I feel like he wouldn't. You know, his takedown defense has gone better. His skill set
he did
improved.
better when he got taken down by Blachowicz. He was able to get back up. He showed improvements.
Definitely, he showed massive amounts of improvements. And you know, even Blachowicz, he drew against Ankaleav. Do you know what I mean? He had a close fight with Pereira. Again, I know MMA maths doesn't really make sense, but Ankaleav, he believes he's going to knock out Alex Pereira on the feet. So this is another thing. Like, it's like, are all these light heavyweights just retarded?
I don't know. I think he thinks he's Islam Makhachev is what he thinks. And maybe he is. He's got some nice knockouts. You know what I'm saying? He can strike. He drew with Jan Blachowicz because he was refusing to take him down, essentially. He could have taken him down early on and made that fight much easier, but he chose not to do that. He thinks he's Islam Makhachev, and maybe he is to a degree, but like, why not just win the fight and become the champion? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. But I rate it, man, because it's like you're trying to be exciting at least. The same thing, the people give shit to Islam, but he's actually an exciting fighter, man. I don't care what anyone says, he's exciting. So I feel like I get why Ankaleav has said that. Whether he says that and he does that, it's two different things, though, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's completely different. But here's the question. Now, here's the big question, because like we all know, what's gonna happen if Alex Pereira wins? He's gonna fight Ankaleav next. Fair enough.
If Ankaleav wins in 3 weeks,
yeah. Oh yeah. If both of them win, they're gonna set that up for 2025, probably March or April. Bank on that. But if Khalil Rountree wins, what do you do then, man? That is mad.
I mean, at that point, you kind of open up the division because he hasn't fought anybody in the top 5, pretty much. So there's nothing but, you know, Jan Blachowicz pops back up in there. Everybody, Yuri pops back up. All the matchups open up, and maybe Alex moves up to heavyweight. Maybe
if he gets beaten by Ankaleav, if he gets beaten by Khalil Rountree, he's not moving up to heavyweight, man. He'll move down. He won't move up.
Yeah, I'd like to see him move down and fight DDP. I'd like to see that.
Oh man, he's getting fucked up, man. He's getting fucked up so badly.
Against DDP?
Oh man, bro, at middleweight, at middleweight.
We'll see,
bro. He's cutting 30 pounds, and DDP. Like, he is people forget he is a wrestler grappler, man. Do you know what I mean? He's got shitty stand up, and people think, oh man, he's a striker. He's not a striker. He's actually a wrestler and a grappler, and a really good one at that. And I think Pereira's gonna die, man. Honestly, he's gonna die at middleweight against Dricus du Plessis. He'll get choked out, or he'll get TKO on the ground. I don't see anything else other than that. But we'll see, man. Who would you match up with? Who would you match Khalil up if he was to win?
In his first defense, I would say Anthony Smith. No, I'd say there's so many. The winner of the Ankaleav fight. I'm not even sure who Ankaleav is fighting. I just imagine Ankaleav is going to win and be the next contender.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see him losing any of his next fight. I mean, he lost one fight against Paul Craig, and that was
silly,
almost a fluke.
Almost,
almost a fluke. But moving on, man, the insane main event. We'll just briefly touch on the other fights as well. What do you think of the co-main event, man? The
potential fight of the night.
Really?
No, I'm bullshitting. This is probably gonna be a pretty boring fight. Probably gonna be 5 rounds of just
humping.
Humping, just grappling, just like clinch boxing, just up against the fence. People trying to work their way back up. It's gonna be a pretty boring fight. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know who am I leaning toward? Maybe Raquel.
Juliana Peña, please.
I want
It's more
Pena to
interesting.
win.
It's more interesting, bro. Why would you want, like, no offense, I sometimes forget who the bantamweight women's champion is of the world.
No, dude. I
forget.
They'll show Pennington, and I'll be like, oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I forgot that she was the champion. Like,
exactly. And you're like, well, how the flip is she the champion? Like, Valentina right now, she could go up here in weight. She's already beat Raquel Pennington. I believe she's beaten Raquel. Just double check that. But
yeah, let me check that out.
She could go up in weight and she could just beat her. So it just makes me think, like, and people won't even be surprised if Valentina Shevchenko becomes the double champion. That says a lot, man, about a big bantamweight woman.
No Shevchenko.
I thought she beat her. Okay, well, I think
she's lost to like Holly Holm.
Damn,
Nunes.
I mean, Holly Holm is the champion. Yeah. Oh, Jermaine Durandamy. What happened to her, man? I know she's 40 now, but
she had a baby. I know.
No way.
Then she came back, and she fought someone?
Yeah, recently. I forgot about her completely.
And she was supposed to fight on last week's card, I believe, or something like that. But then she had to pull out. She was supposed to fight someone who got beat up on the last week's card.
Damn. But anyway, we digress. I personally, Juliana Peña, I would love her to win. It's just more exciting, man. You know, she's gonna piss people off. She's probably gonna call out Ronda Rousey, call her a fucking silly bitch, and try and fight her or something. She's probably gonna call out Kayla Harrison. Man, I'm excited. I want Juliana Peña to win, man. I think she's exciting. She talks shit.
Yeah,
that's all we need, man. That's all you need in women's MMA right now.
I think it's more exciting if Peña wins. Like, the division is more exciting if she's the champion. But I think Pennington is going to win. But I'm rooting for Peña to win because, as we're saying, I don't even really remember that Pennington is the champion. She doesn't do interviews. She doesn't do like any media.
Yeah,
like, I hear way more from Juliana. Just her delusions sometimes or whatever. I feel like
I love it, man. She has to be deluded. She beat the GOAT, man. Yeah, I don't care what anyone says. She beat the GOAT once, yeah. She beat the GOAT. It doesn't matter. Yeah. She beat the GOAT.
I thought it was delusional that she was like, I'm gonna beat her. She's scared. Then she went and beat her, and it was like, whoa, she was right the whole time. Who am I?
People still call her deluded, even though she beat Amanda Nunes in her fucking prime. I'm like, what are you guys talking about, bro? Like, I didn't think I thought Juliana Peña was gonna get slept in a minute. And I was happy to be wrong, man, because there's nothing better in MMA than an upset, man. Nothing better. You know, but moving on. We got Kayla Harris. Who's she fighting again?
Ketlan Vierira.
I mean, that's a good fight, but let's be honest, man. It's just going to be a showcase for
Kayla.
For Kayla, yeah, it's going to be a showcase.
Oh, but that's why I'm saying it's more interesting if Peña wins, and then you have Peña setting up to face Kayla Harrison. They said the winner of the Harrison Vierira fight is the =1 contender. So
yeah. And I think Kayla is, a big shout out, Kayla. You actually gave us you were the first big interview that you came on Calf Kick Sports. So big shout out to Kayla.
You guys interviewed Kayla?
Oh, man. Do you know something? That was the first big interview that we had.
I want to interview Kayla.
I set that up and I couldn't make it. Tim interviewed her. But, man, she's so awesome for doing that. Kayla, if you're listening, please come back. But
I was just watching her Shaq MMA interview before this.
Sorry,
I was watching her Shaq MMA interview.
I didn't see that.
It's pretty good.
She's lovely, man. She's such a nice person. But yeah, I really do hope that Kayla Harrison gets the win, and then it sets up a big fight between it. In my opinion, I think that is a fight that could potentially reinvigorate the women's bantamweight division, where you've got Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Peña, man. Imagine the shit talk that's going to happen, man, before.
Yeah, that's going to be a beautiful hype. It's going to be one of the best fights for women's bantamweight that we can make, honestly. We don't need Nunes to come back. I mean, unless she's fighting Kayla Harrison, which I honestly still don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see Harrison lose to Nunes. For what purpose? Like, that's not a fight I want to see.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Hopefully the women's division is rebuilding, sooner than expected, man. Because I've got a feeling Amanda Nunes is going to come back, man.
I hope not. I was calling for her retirement for like the last 3 years of her career.
Why? Too dominant.
Too dominant in 2 divisions. One that they just propped up just to say that she was a 2-division champion. They didn't even sign fighters in that weight class. They never had a ranking for that weight class. It was just to say that she was a 2-division champion. Like,
yeah. I mean, they could have paid some big money for Larissa Pacheco to come over to 145. Or after she just beat Kayla as well. That would have been a great fight to make, man.
But then she retires, and you got people like Norma Dumont who have to just now make 135 and are whooping ass. And you could have done that the whole time instead of just hanging around in a non-existent division for too long.
Definitely, man. Moving on, man. Mario Bautista versus Jose Aldo. Oh man, I do not like this fight for Jose Aldo, man. This is I don't know about this one, man. He's 38 years old and he's a bantamweight. This is gonna be interesting, man. What do you think?
I like this fight for Aldo. I don't understand. I'm like, maybe I haven't seen what everybody is seeing with Bautista here, but
he's gritty, man. He's tough, very tough.
But against the very gritty, seasoned Jose Aldo, 40 fights under his belt.
I don't think he's as gritty anymore, man. I don't think he takes damage as well anymore. He doesn't wear it on his face as much. Having said that, he retired after losing to the bantamweight champion of the world right now. Who I always believed in. I always knew Merab Dvalishvili was going to beat Sean O'Malley.
Stop the cap.
I always.
And he retired in that fight after taking like basically no damage. Is how I felt.
Yeah, it was a bit weird, man. But he's back, and in all honesty, I just want to see Jose Aldo be safe, make it out of there safe, man. That's the main thing, because at 38 years old, making bantamweight, I'm telling you, any bad shot to the chin can put him out, man. In my opinion, I don't think he's fragile, but I mean, he looked great in his last fight, but who was he fighting, man? He was fighting Jonathan Martinez. Who is it? I'm trying to remember who it was now. Jonathan Martinez.
Yes, Jonathan Martinez. And I thought Martinez was going to win that fight, honestly.
Yeah, and he's the middle of the ground, not in the top 15 yet. He's just not, he's kind of mid, he's not amazing.
The moment was too big for him. When he got in there, the moment was too big for Jonathan
Possibly,
Martinez.
Because you're fighting a legend, man, in Brazil. Like, it's a lot to take in. But having said that, I just feel like Mario Bautista's got this, man. I think he's got it. Unfortunately for Aldo, and I feel like this might be the end of the road again for the King of Rio, man. What do you think?
They can retire, come back, retire, come back. I thought he should have kept boxing. I thought that was a nice little path he was making for himself. I'm picking him in this fight. I don't see him having a real title run. I don't see him ever becoming champion again. Maybe we could have a few more fun fights with him.
You know what I'd love to see, win, lose, or draw.
Conor?
No. Man, that's spicy. Jose Aldo will beat Conor right now, man.
Yeah, dude.
He'll beat him. Jose Aldo versus Dominic Cruz.
Oh, yeah, I would like to see that.
That's awesome fight, isn't it, man?
Finally get that fight going. I would like to see that.
Man, should have happened freaking 50 years ago, man.
I think Jose takes that fight.
I think so as well. Dominic Cruz cannot take leg kicks anymore, man. I mean, if you're getting leg kicked by 5'4" Henry Cejudo, and I say that with love because I'm a short guy as well, but if you're getting leg kicked by 5'4" Henry Cejudo and you're getting tagged multiple times, what do you think Jose Aldo is going to do, man? He was the GOAT at doing that for a very long time. It's a good fight, though, man. I'd like to see that next. If Mario Bautista wins, I think give him a top 5 opponent, man. Why not?
Is Jose ranked?
No, he is. He's ranked number 12 or 13 or something. No, maybe he's 15.
Jose is 10. How is he 10?
So I mean, Mario Bautista is ranked 13 or 14, maybe something like that.
11. 10 versus 11.
Yeah. So if you beat Jose Aldo, who's a legend, get him a number 5, man, for sure, man. Get him a number 5. I'd say get him the loser of Peter Yan versus Figueiredo.
Yeah, I was like, there's nobody available right now.
Yeah, get him the loser of that fight.
Maybe Corey Sandhagen is available.
Oh, yeah, that's a brilliant, perfect. Book that one up if that is the case, man. But yeah, look, UFC 307 is a wrap, guys. Yeah, sorry about the quality. I'm just like recording this off my phone, so I do apologize about it. Yeah, all good. But man, I cannot wait for this one, man. I'm hoping that Alex Pereira actually wins now, because now I'm going to kick myself because Khalil wins and I didn't call it officially. I just want to be right. But yeah, man, other than that, man, tell anything to add, Jermaine?
Yo, shout out or happy trails to Carla Esparza. This is her retirement fight at UFC 307. Shout out to her. I know a lot of people think some of her fights have been pretty boring, like the last Nama Nunes fight, but you know, I think we needed people like Carla Esparza to help push forward women's MMA. So happy trails to Carla. Thank you for everything you've contributed to this sport. And that's all I got to say about this.
No, that's I think that's fair, man. She was a she was a two-time champion, man, and
inaugural champion, right?
Williams, for fuck's sake, man. Jesus, it's horrible. I mean, what a way to go out, man. You're on the prelims, on a UFC card. You're two-time champion,
and I think it's a bad fight for her too. But
yeah, now I've been right all year with all my predictions, Jermaine. You know this. You know, I called the Marab versus Sean O'Malley. You know, I called that. You called
Bilal versus Leon.
Yeah, man. You know. I was gonna say. I told you, man. I told you Bilal's gonna break him. I told you Bilal's gonna break him. He's gonna take him down. He's gonna break him, man. He's gonna like smush him. I predict these things. Yeah. Mystic Ash will get this right again. So. Alex Pereira is going to get the knockout, which probably means the opposite. So I can't be wrong again, man.
I think that's what's going to happen. Definitely, he's going to get the knockout here. Alex
definitely,
Pereira.
Man, definitely. But look,
no more than 2 rounds.
Oh, 100%, 100%. In my opinion, I think this is going to be a slaughtering. But folks, thanks for watching. You know, make sure you stay tuned. We will do the review show. I probably won't be doing that because I'm going to be sleeping. I'll be really honest with you. And man, stay tuned, subscribe, all that good stuff. Take care, guys.
Later.